Let's delete some features from a feature layer in ArcGIS Online using the ArcGIS API for Python. Open up the delete features.py script from the data folder. We will use two feature layer object methods to delete features from a feature layer, the delete features method and the edit features method. We'll first head over to the documentation for these two. Here we have the documentation for the delete features method for a feature layer object. And you can use this method to delete features in a feature layer or from a table object. All parameters are optional. We are going to use the deletes parameter, which is a comma-separated string of object IDs. And we'll also use the where parameter. Features conforming to the specified where clause will be deleted. The delete features method will return a dictionary that contains information on the deleted features. This occurs because return delete results has a default set to true. We're also going to use the edit features method for a feature layer object. You saw back in the add data section that you use the adds parameter for the edit features, and here you're going to use deletes. The deletes parameter will take a feature set of the features to be deleted or a list of object IDs. We'll head back to our Python script. We first access ArcGIS Online using our GIS class and supplying our home string. We'll assign our GIS object to a variable called AGOL. We then use our GIS object content manager get method supplying in our feature service item ID, which I'm going to paste in now. The get method will return an item object that will assign to a variable called item. We're going to delete features from our trail viewpoints layer. We use our item object layers property that returns a list of feature layer objects that represent the feature layers in the feature service. We're interested in the feature layer object at index 0 that represents our trail viewpoints layer. We'll assign that feature layer object to a variable called FL. We use our feature layer object and call the delete features method. We used the deletes parameter and we set a string of comma separated OIDs. So we're going to delete out the features that have an OID of 1 and 2. Now if I head over to ArcGIS Online, we will see that the first two features here will be deleted, FDM Park View and FDM Statue. We'll go back to our Python script and we'll run. The script is complete and we can see the dictionary output. It has one key called delete results, and that is a list containing dictionaries. Each dictionary has the object ID, a unique ID that may be the same as the object ID or could be using a different unique ID, global ID, and success, whether the deletion was successful or not. Both are true, indicating that both our features have been deleted. But we'll head over to ArcGIS Online and verify. Here we can see our object ID of 1 and 2, so when we refresh this page, they should disappear. I'll need to show the object IDs, but we can see that object ID of 1 and 2 have been deleted from this data set. We'll continue to delete more, so I'll head back to our Python script. I'll comment out the first example. And in the next example, we're going to use the delete features method once more, but this time we're only going to use the where clause or the where parameter. And we'll set that to be viewpoint name like made up. So anything that begins with made up as the viewpoint name will be deleted. I'll run the script. We can see a dictionary returned with a list containing 2 dictionaries for delete results, indicating that 2 features were indeed deleted, object ID of 3 and object ID of 4. We'll head back over to ArcGIS Online. And we can see for object ID of 3 and 4, the viewpoint name does start with made up. So these 2 were deleted. If I refresh the page, we see the list of features has been reduced and that object ID of 3 and 4 are no longer in the data set. We'll head back over to the Python script and we'll move on to using the edit features method for a feature layer to delete more features. We'll comment out our second example and open up our next. Here we're going to use the feature layer object query method. where we're looking for any trail viewpoint that has a viewpoint type of scenic. The query method will return a feature set. We then use the feature layer object edit features method, where we're using the deletes parameter, and we're supplying in the feature set returned from the query. I'll run the script. We can see the dictionary returned has add results. We weren't adding any features, we weren't updating any features, but we were deleting features. We can see a list of 3 dictionaries are in our delete results, indicating that 3 trail viewpoints had a viewpoint type of scenic, object ID 5, 8, and 9. We'll head over to ArcGIS Online and check out the result. We can see here that object ID of 5, 8, and 9 have a viewpoint type of scenic. So when I refresh this page, we expect those to be removed. And we can see we have 2 features left, object ID of 6 and 7. We'll head back over to the Python script and run once more, perform the last deletes on this feature layer. I'll comment out the third example. And for our last example, we are going to use the edit features one more time. This time we're not using the query method to get a feature set. We're simply calling the feature layer object edit features method, and we're supplying in a comma separated string of object IDs. Only 6 and 7 are left, so this should remove the last 2 features in our trail viewpoints feature layer. We'll run the script. And we can see for delete results, we have 2 entries for object ID 6 and object ID 7. We'll head back over to ArcGIS Online one more time and verify the result. We see our 2 features. I'm going to refresh the page. And we're getting no data found because we have no features left in our feature layer. We have successfully used the ArcGIS API for Python using the delete features and the edit features methods for a feature layer object to delete features from a feature layer in a feature service. Make sure to continue on to the next video in this series, and also make sure to subscribe. Take care.